What's good, family? What's good? It's your boy, Urban Sports Guru. I'll let y'all. Hope everybody's safe. Last night wasn't a crazy night, thank God. I was to holler at y'all something else about this whole George Floyd situation. RIP to George Floyd. And it's about the other three officers. This is why people are outraged. Let me explain something to you. It shouldn't even be a question. It shouldn't even be a question whether the other three officers are going to get charged. Let me explain to you why. There's a thing in law called acting in concert. I'll say it again, acting in concert. And what that means is, if you're rolling with somebody and something happens, just because you didn't do the most egregious part, if you are participating, then you two are legally held liable. Now, how does that play itself out? If we go rob a bank, hypothetically speaking, and I'm just a driver, I pull up, you go inside, rob the bank. You go inside, rob the bank. I'm just a driver. I'm outside, boom. Then you go and we peel off. If we get caught, I can't sit there afterwards and pretend, oh, I didn't do anything. I was just driving. I didn't know what he was doing. I acted in concert. I participated. So the other three officers that was holding them down, that makes them legally liable. That other officer who just seemingly like the lookout, that makes him legally liable. Because he can't say or pretend that he didn't know what was happening. He did absolutely nothing to stop it. This makes him legally liable. And he can't pretend that he didn't know what was going on. This makes all of them legally liable. And people's frustrations are because if you've been in these kind of neighborhoods, whether you was in the streets or not, you've seen this rule of law play itself out. You've seen this rule of law play itself out many times. So, with that being said, well, you've seen this rule of law playing itself out when it comes against us. But now when it comes for them, you're not seeing it play itself out. You're not seeing that same accountability. That's where people's frustrations are coming from now still, the fact that those officers haven't been charged. What I want to see is, I think about 10 years ago, the Occupy Wall Street, and people had a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, but they didn't have a goal. They were upset and didn't really know what to do about it, and eventually that momentum got lost. I don't want to see this happen here. I want to see this momentum and this movement provoke change. Now, what kind of change realistically can be made? Realistically, what I want to see is this case with Derek Chauvin and those two hillbillies down in Georgia. What I want to see is this be the precedent set for how these situations are handled. What do I mean when I say this? Everybody is upset and at an uproar because of the lack of accountability, basically. So you basically make an example out of Derek Chauvin and the rest of these officers. It now sets a precedent, not just in the state of Minnesota, but throughout the rest of the country, how these cases are going to be handled. The fact that now there's also a civil rights investigation right now being done because of this about the police department in Minneapolis. This now sets a precedent of how these situations can be handled now moving forward. Because, like I told you before, there is no fear. There's no fear of retribution, retaliation, or prosecution. So because what's supposed to happen is prosecution, and there's no fear of that, this is why you see the unrest, the uprising that you're seeing now. This is why you see the protesting. This is why you see the looting. This is why you see the rioting. And there's already been people on the other side who've been hurt because of it. This is why you see it. If y'all not going to hold them accountable, we're going to hold them accountable. This is the thinking. Whether that's right or whether it's wrong, I'm just telling you what the thinking is. So, this sets the precedent that now, white folks in particular are just cops who engage in these kind of activities. This is the precedent, this is the accountability you're going to be held to from now on, because internal affairs is bullshit. Internal affairs moves when they want to move. When they want to move, they move. But they don't. This is why I say that the system is already in place. They just don't do it. So, other means need to be figured out. And the groundwork seems to be happening correctly in Minneapolis right now. That's what it looks like right now. But let this be the precedent. Let this be the start of how these things happen moving forward. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you feel. It's your boy Urban Sports Guru. I'm out. Salute.